Welcome, parents, relatives, teachers, administrators, school board members, and students to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2000. The class of 2000 has demonstrated a record of achievement and accomplishment. Members of this class have won state academic, athletic championships, along with receiving recognition in the arts and sciences. They have been accepted into the finest institutions. I recognize that this level of success does not occur in isolation, but requires the support of parents, relatives, teachers, and friends. Students, if you could take a moment to recognize those that have supported you. I believe that the class of 2000 is prepared for the real world. So again, welcome and enjoy. Please stand for the national anthem and remain standing for the alma mater. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Yes, please be seated. Thank you. Members of the choir, thank you. That was beautiful. Members of the class of 2000, never before has a graduating class been more privileged to the world of technology. Communicating has never been more immediate. Staying in touch is just a point and click away on email. Do not make the mistake of waiting every 5 years for your class reunion to catch up on colleges, careers, engagements, marriages, and family beginnings. And most of all, and regrettably, don't wait for your reunion to find out about the passing away of a fellow classmate. Commit tonight to communicate for life. Keep your friends close by using the advantages of technology you have been provided with. Establish email addresses and websites and stay friends forever. In closing, there are many parents here tonight, like me, are here to see the graduation of their firstborn. Seniors, your kindergarten through 12 years has been an exhilarating roller coaster ride of ups and downs and scary moments. But parents, I look out and ask each and every one of you, would you have missed it for the world? No, I wouldn't think so. Graduates, I love beach balls. I love them. Okay. All right, graduates, you are surrounded tonight by the unconditional love of your parents and families this evening. Enjoy their love tonight and bask in the pride your parents have for you. And I must, Brick, I love you more than you can comprehend, and thank you for being my son. Thank you. Class of 2000, my prayer for you is that God will bless you, keep you, and cause his face to shine upon you. Congratulations.
Thanks. Good evening. No, great, unforgettable evening. Family, friends, faculty, community members, and my fellow classmates. Graduation. Wow, we're here. I don't know about you, but life sure seems to fly by. Only a few years ago, I rode my huffy pink bike, the rocker, I called it, onto this incredible winding trail in the woods. And at full speed, a magnificent speed, I flew off a hill. I landed a hard, solid fall. Yet, at the same time that I sat there, wincing in pain, I realized I had come upon a great big tree that intrigued me. Soon I began building my treehouse in that very tree. Just as I was able to turn what was at first a bad fall into a good experience, many of you may have also overcome a few bumps and hills. Each of us took a different path to arrive here at the high school. We were small, but just like that great big tree, the school was not. Here at North Penn, there were a lot more lunch lines. Many of us wore braces. We were allowed to carry school bags, and we even went swimming in gym class. But now, we are licensed to drive, can vote, have nice teeth, have jobs, and can grow as much facial hair as we wish. At least, most of the guys can. Yeah. During our time here, some of us worked to become star athletes, to make the honor roll, or just to wake up in time to make the homeroom bell. Most of us just wanted to explore and have awaited this very moment in life. Well, here it is, the biggest moment in our young lives. I hope you've done all that you wanted. Tried out for the baseball team, met everyone you wanted to get to know, and said thank you to all who helped you get here tonight. This night of commencement is a brand new start. Each of us here tonight has an unknown identity waiting to be discovered by the rest of the world. A different nickname if we choose, new friends, co-workers, more responsibilities, maybe a new town to move into, and lots of new memories to make. Therefore, this is our time to push our limits and to explore. Someone once said, you're gonna love this, life is not mission difficult, but mission impossible. But this statement is incorrect. I just really wanted to use it in my speech. However, do not fear, because after much deep, very deep thought, I can tell you why the statement is wrong. So here it goes. Life is what you make of it. It is up to all of us to make the most and the best of it. We've come this far and have lots more to go. Never forget what's really important in life. Not materialism nor wealth, but health, happiness, charity, kindness, love, and laughter. There's just one more thing that I have to do. I want to thank all of you who made these years the best times of my life. The dedicated faculty, the adoring underclassmen, and the greatest graduating class ever. It's been quite a ride. So, class of 2000, have fun, enjoy what life throws at you, and live it up. Thank you.
Good evening, teachers and administrators, parents and families, friends and students. My fellow seniors, tonight as we graduate and leave North Penn, our perspectives are about to undergo a profound change. The world will seem much bigger to us as we contemplate the future. So many of the things we've grown accustomed to, we must now relinquish. But not all at once. And in that connection, I have the following announcement to make. Until I am handed my diploma, D224 is still my parking space, so would the owner of the tan Bronco please remove your vehicle? As we step out into the world tonight, it's natural to be looking with anticipation and excitement toward the future. But it's impossible to think about the future with any clarity until we first consider and acknowledge our huge debt to the past, a past that we take for granted as part of our rightful heritage. Everything in our simple day-to-day existence, everything we enjoy doing is a gift from the past. The machines we use, our education, even our health itself, all were invented or developed or fortified by our ancestors. How many of us could survive at all without this tremendous inheritance we accept without a thought? Consider the dedicated men and women who labored on projects both great and small, from the steam engine to antibiotics to the microchip, and okay, the Philly cheesesteak. The whole world is a gigantic legacy. Imagine having to start over each generation. Who would invent the wheel, construct the alphabet, devise the multiplication table? Who would conceive of law, democracy, or the rights of a free people? I know I couldn't. With the recent passing of Memorial Day, I was reminded of my reaction to the film Saving Private Ryan. The opening scene depicts a battle during the D-Day invasion in all its horrific reality. Walking out of the theater, I remember being most in awe, not of the film itself, but of the fact that many of our grandparents, in fact their whole generation, actually did everything that I had just watched from the safety of an air-conditioned multiplex. Ordinary people gave their lives to crush extraordinary evil. The generation that followed them, of which our parents are a part, ushered in the most rapid period of technological advancement in the history of the world. People who consider themselves realists are fond of telling us there's no such thing as a free lunch, But that statement is true only if you consider the present. If you take the long view of history, you'll realize that virtually all we have has been handed to us free. What we call civilization is nothing but a free lunch given to us by generations who labored for more than simple day-to-day survival or pleasure. So when we look toward the future, it must be with more than just plans to utilize what has already been given to us for our own pleasure or profit. We must wonder whether our generation will leave something permanent for the future to use. I'm confident that we will, as we all follow our different paths. Perhaps our aspiring scientists will cure AIDS and Alzheimer's, or develop new sources of energy. Our future artists and writers could join the ranks of Picasso, Beethoven, and Shakespeare, creating works of beauty that will inspire and enlighten us for centuries to come. Or here's a legacy for the class of 2000. Let our future mothers and fathers be the first generation to raise all of their children to respect and care for one another with all the innate differences that make each individual unique. These have been wonderful years at North Penn, but I like to think that the best is yet to come for all of us. I know that distances between us won't matter much, thank goodness for email. Class of 2000, you're the best. The world is going to know we're here. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you here tonight. When I sat down to write this commencement speech, I reflected on various experiences and attempted to recall wisdom which I could share with you tonight. However, my experiences seemed neither relevant nor interesting, and my wisdom concerning this graduation and your futures was, well, lacking. I attempted to remember all the advice I had received in the previous weeks from my teachers, friends, co-workers, and family concerning what I could say that would have a profound impact on all of you. I had received input from my parents who suggested that I speak on the numerous political headlines, scientific breakthroughs, and sports history, which has occurred during our tenure at North Penn. Political headlines such as the fall of the Iron Curtain, scientific breakthroughs like the cloning of a sheep, and sports history made by athletes like Michael Jordan and Mark McGuire, and how it is now our turn as graduates of North Penn to be the ones making the news that the younger generation learns about, as we make our mark on the world. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I didn't take your advice. My manager at Circuit City suggested that I casually include an endorsement for our store in my speech and recommend Circuit City for all of your college shopping needs and possible summer employment opportunities. As I just did. You owe me one, Eric. My coworkers suggested that I just get up here and stand for 3 minutes without saying anything. They have an odd sense of humor. However, I chose not to speak by silence. And after speaking with these people, I decided to keep asking around. Most of my input, however, came from my friends right here in front of me. Some of you wanted me to mention an instance which included you, but most just begged me not to make this speech boring or long. Someone told me that I could talk about anything as long as I include a quote from The Simpsons. For that person, here are some words of wisdom from Homer. If you really want something in this life, you have to work for it. Now quiet, they're about to announce the lottery numbers. However, I was skeptical of basing this entire speech on a Homer Simpson quote. I stopped seeking advice about a week ago when I spoke with a member of my church. He said that he had been to a good deal of both high school and college graduations in his life, and had found the key to a successful speech. Just keep it short, he said. Get up there and thank your parents and praise the Lord. So to you, Mom and Dad, thank you for the support and motivation you have given to me along the way. And thank the Lord for the talent he has given me and the individual abilities he has given to each one of you. The North Penn Class of 2000 needs to make a positive impact on the world in coming years so that we will be the ones making the news and contributing to the fields of politics, business, science, arts, and sports. To those of you graduating, whether you go off to college, go right into work, join the military, or decide to take a year off and backpack through Europe, remember that you are not alone. And whatever accomplishments you have made and successes you have had, you undoubtedly had help from family and friends who will be there in the future when you need them. And remember to appreciate and thank your parents for their love, support, and encouragement. In case you do forget, on behalf of the Class of 2000, thank you, parents, for all you have done for us, and praise God for all he has given us. Thank you.
A wise man once said, "Everything changes, nothing remains the same." And even though we do not know exactly how, we have changed. Instead of struggling to comprehend the cat in the hat, we are now able to analyze whether Hamlet is really mad or just pretending. We are also able to work with imaginary numbers instead of using our fingers to add 2 plus 2. Throughout our 12 years of education, we have established an immense knowledge base with the help of our teachers and mentors. In fact, others are often surprised by the amount of knowledge we possess when we answer trivia questions on Jeopardy correctly. Even college professors are astonished by how much we know about their particular fields. However, as Einstein said, knowledge is limited. One can only go to a certain point before he has exhausted all sources of current knowledge about a particular topic. Thus, it is imagination that encircles the world. Without imagination, we would not be able to enjoy such novels as A Tale of Two Cities, or know of the combustion process key to making our cars run. If imagination were non-existent, we would still not have invented the wheel. Nevertheless, because imagination is present, we are able to enjoy the luxuries of such a rapidly advancing age. While imagination provides the methods to look at things in a new way, curiosity provides the interest to establish a concrete knowledge base to expand upon. Without curiosity, life would become an endless repetition of mundane routines. Thus, foster your curiosity through expanding your involvement in all aspects of life, from keeping in touch with family and friends to volunteering in hospitals and making informed decisions while voting. We should never lose the ability to look at things as if for the first time, from a tricky math problem to appreciating the soft touch of a rose petal. We truly are one of the luckiest classes. Ever since first grade, because of our graduation in the year 2000, we have been treated very specially. From our class picture in first grade to our senior prom, everything has been literally handed to us. Unfortunately, not everyone is as lucky as we are. Some are greatly hindered by problems such as poverty and violence. Although most of us feel that human condition should be changed for the better, we often succumb to the fallacy that one person cannot make an impact. It is the worst of sins to think that the human condition can be improved and not involve oneself in the process. Yet most of us just idly stand by and watch as if we are mere spectators. Since joy only increases as it is spread, and sadness decreases as it is shared, only a life lived for others is worth living. It is hard to realize, but we are on our way to becoming the visionaries and engineers of the future. I would like to conclude by congratulating all of you on graduation and wish you the best of luck for the future. As it is said in the movie Braveheart, your heart is free. Have the courage to follow it. Thank you.
Good evening to all of those attending this graduation of the class of 2000. Graduation has been on our minds for quite some time now, but not long ago, many of us were agonizing over college decisions. During my period of college decision-making, I visited Georgetown campus in a program for accepted applicants. I stumbled upon an early childhood friend who was also there for the same reason. He attended Germantown Academy. To my surprise, his father said to me, "So, Jason, are you, unusual, so to speak, as a graduate of North Penn, to be accepted to such a top school as Georgetown?" He could not comprehend that someone from a public school could be so successful. I quickly and somewhat forcefully told him that I was not unusual at all, and that North Penn has produced many students who were accepted to many excellent schools. I'm proud of my North Penn education. North Penn has provided me with a wealth of challenging courses and interesting teachers. I believe a North Penn education is among the best I could possibly receive. And I believe that every one of you graduating today has received that same great education. My message for you today is to use it. Your education does not merely manifest itself into a diploma and then act as a headline on your job resume. It is a tool that you have earned through hard work and dedication. Your education is a tool that you can constantly shape, and whether you're going to work, or college, or military, you can use it for different purposes. But you can only apply this tool through hard work. I've never felt so empowered by hard work and effort than I did in 11th grade math class. Early in the year, I did poorly on a test. I felt, it was just one. I felt devastated for a time, but I quickly vowed to myself that I would do much better on the next test. I studied harder than I ever had before. I went over and over each kind of problem in my head constantly. When I took the next test, I flew through it like a man possessed, earning that A that I coveted. And I'll never forget when my teacher, Mr. Plimet, said to me afterward. It was memorable for its simplicity. He handed back the test and simply said, "Nice job." But he said it in a strange way. His tone was one of cautious praise. He neither acted surprised that I had gotten an A, nor lavished excessive praise on me. He said, "Nice job," in a cautiously respectful way, as if he really meant to say, "Nice job, but you better keep it up." I heeded Mr. Clement's implied warning. I know the value of effort and hard work, of applying skills to achieve success. I'm not standing here speaking today because of some abstract notion of intellectual capability. I'm here because this is the goal that I set for myself 3 years ago, the goal that I worked very hard to achieve. You can all achieve your goals, no matter how lofty they may be. Just keep in mind that success comes through efforts. Take the education that you have received from North Penn and use it to realize your dreams. Thank you.
Tonight we graduate 890 members of the class of 2000. Graduating in absentia this evening are the following individuals: Jesse Alexander, Christopher Amato, Jillian Bonde, Timothy Cassidy, Ryan Copeland, Michael Estrada, Alan Eustace, Matthew Fleckner, Christopher Fuse, Michelle Gresh, Michael Hagans, Romero Henderson, Nicole Hill, Sharon Kelly, Dong Van Lee, Wen Yu Lee, Christian Joseph Leiter, Patricia Martina, Blaine Moyer, C. Christian Peterson, Mark Edward Price, Jeremy Bryan Smith, Fallon Spall, Mark Stokey, and Michelle Viney. Our class officers now will commence with the reading of the names of the class of 2000.
Jonathan Michael Accardi.
Michelle Marie Lakowitz.
Jared Benjamin Adams.
Brian Robert Land.
Young Dok Samuel An.
R. Michael Landis.
Mabuba Akhtar.
Timothy Daniel Lanzone.
Lee Allen Allbacker.
Christina Latsko.
Jason Michael Alcott.
Liam Michael Lawler.
Rebecca Jane Alexander.
Amanda Catherine Lawson.
Lauren Michelle Albach.
Douglas Lawson.
Maruth Al Parvez.
Joshua Robert Lay.
Michael Joseph Amato.
Karen Justine Lazarowitz.
Michael Wood Ambrose.
Melissa Pauline Leisure.
Hardakumar P. Amin.
Myung Suk Lee.
Alicia Anderson.
Yu A. Lucy Lee.
Roy Anderson.
Jean Lee.
Carrie Ann Andre.
Sang Won Lee.
Jason Paul Andrews.
Sue G. Lee.
Amanda Marie Angelicchio.
Deborah Lynn Lees.
Jean Christine Anhorn.
Michael Jeffrey Lagower.
Lori Ann Antolik.
Sandra Marie Leonard.
James Dale Armstrong Jr.
Brian Timothy Leslie.
Melissa K. Arner.
Rohan Andre Lewis.
Ralph William Asher Jr.
McGahan Catherine Lewis.
Sanjeev Ramamohan Elori.
Kimberly Beth Libby.
Andrew Thomas Backlund.
Gerard Michael Leach. Adam J. Leitner.
Jacqueline Nicole Badawi.
Kelly Yoon Lim.
Bradley David Baker.
Dawn Marie Lindy.
Christopher James Baker.
Jessica Renee Lynn.
Christopher Michael Baldwin.
Thomas Russell Lizell.
Rodrigo Valbaraldi.
Philip Roman Lowen.
Julie Christine Barnes.
William Patrick Loftus.
Chad Edward Bartley.
Elizabeth Ann Lonergan.
Stephen E. Barwis.
Teresa Lynn Lubis.
Thomas John Bassinger, Jr.
Nunzia Tina Luberto.
Michael Helmut Bauscher.
Rosina Maria Luberto.
David Andrew Beagle.
Tommaso Luberto.
Stephen John Beatty, Jr.
Kimberly Ann Lukens.
Allison Kendall Beatty.
Nicholas Michael Lukens.
Derek Scott Beckel.
Chrissy L. Lupino.
Mary Claire Begridge.
David Thomas Lupino, Jr.
Jamie Sue Bulott.
Hillary Lee Lutz.
John Robert Benedicts.
Sequoia Keona Lynch.
Quentin William Berkelbach.
Deborah Nicole Lyons.
Ross Andrew Burnson.
Crystal Lynn May.
David Frederick Farrell.
Kevin Lee Mace.
Amanda Kate Berry.
Catherine Ann Macedo.
John Daniel Bertolet.
Natasha Marie McDowell.
Sagar Ashwin Bott.
Louise Isabel Mahoney.
Celica Lee Bicochi.
James William Major, Jr.
Byron Wesley Binder.
Paul Joseph Mallon, Jr.
Lisa Ann Birnbaum.
Christopher Philip Mamrell.
Lauren Kelly Bissett.
Charles John Mancino.
Ralph Jacob Biddle II.
Lauren Marie Mancino.
Candace Marie Bittinger.
Hardik Durejalal Mangrolia.
Christine Elizabeth Black.
Christopher Eugene Mapp.
William John Blackburn.
Michael Leonard Marcinek.
Terry Allen Blaze.
Michael Thomas Marino.
Renee Marie Blanchette.
Ivan Allen Markley Jr.
Sean Michael Blassetti.
Dennis Miguel Marcus.
Stephanie Noel Bob.
James Philippe Marcus.
Jillian Sarah Bach.
Angela Teresa Martel.
Brett Thomas Bonani.
Nicholas William Mascotti.
Ross Evan Borneman.
Charles Maston.
Amber Janelle Borowski.
Daniel Thomas Matthey.
Christopher Kent Berlin.
Sabrina Lynn Matthews.
James Patrick Bowen Jr.
Catherine Lindahl Matlack.
Stephen Joseph Richard Boyle.
Jeffrey Vincent Matteo Jr.
Christopher Paul Bradley.
Ryan Porter Maxwell.
Michael Brian Brandt.
Christopher Aiken Maylott.
Heather Lee Bryce.
Laurie Ann Mazurek.
Marin J. Brendamule.
Timothy Ryan McAteer.
Peter Jaquea Britton.
James Lewis McCarter.
Brian Lee Brobst.
Allison Quinn McCarthy.
John Christopher Brophy.
Ryan Marie McCarthy.
Adam Christopher Brown.
Jennifer Lynn McCarty.
Nicole Elizabeth Brunt.
Elizabeth Ruth McConnell.
David Anthony Buchert.
Melissa Elizabeth McConnell.
Matthew Edmund Buckley.
Bridget Teresa McCrory.
Christopher John Buckner.
Kyle Patrick McDermott.
April Jewel Budd.
Joseph Patrick McDevitt IV.
Tanya Lee Burkhart.
Alice Marie McGilloway.
Joshua David Burns.
Kristen Ann McGinley.
Jamie Nicole Burton.
Timothy Joseph McGlincy.
Adrian Elizabeth Busker.
Tanya Irene McGregor.
Gavin Grant Butler.
Timothy Terrence McGregor.
Kimberly Evelyn Butler.
Lisa Ann McGuire.
Carlos Andres Cacho.
Stephen Edward McElhenney.
Dominic Anthony Calafati.
Christopher McKelvey.
Kristen Renee Caltabiano.
Timothy Patrick McKenna.
Daniel Ronald Camburn.
Caitlin Mara McLaughlin.
Robert Carl Canfield Jr.
Christian John McMunn.
Michael Anthony Carlin.
Rachel Elizabeth McNally.
Erica Lynn Cardy.
Charlene Lene McRae.
Michael Andrew Casey.
Shannon Eileen McNally.
Robert William Castle.
Alexis Marie McVeigh.
Joshua Allen Kavanaugh.
Benjamin Patrick Mellish.
Allison Michelle Salenza.
Stephanie Lauren Melzer.
Jeffrey D. Cha.
Noelle Marie Menifee.
Megan Kathleen Shalick.
Derek Stephen Meyerson III.
Joanna Lynn Chancellor.
Michael Allen Mitchner.
Philip Cho.
Jamie Lee Michelson.
Youngbeck Cho.
Christopher Alexander Mignona.
Pushpita Chowdhury.
Corey Marshall Miller.
Michael Scott Christophers.
James Dale Miracle.
Sung Hoon Chun.
Nancy Elizabeth Mersch.
Yu Lim Chung.
Amanda Diane Mitchell.
Sean Joseph Sacconi.
Lauren Jean
Okay.
Mitchell.
Kelly Ann Clark.
Leslie Ann Mogenberg.
Scott Maurice Clark.
Michael Anthony Moore.
Sean Patrick Clark.
Jonathan William Monahan.
William Dale Clark.
Janelle Elizabeth Montalto.
Jill Catherine Clayton.
Joseph Michael Monty.
Michael Christopher Cleary.
Michael Carl Moore.
Bradford Thomas Clemens.
Christopher Colin Moriarty.
Oh, yeah. Emily Carolyn Clinch.
Laura May Marasco.
Stephanie Maria Clothier.
Sharon Diane Moravec.
Ashley Lauren Clower.
Daniel Quinton Morris.
Thomas Edward Coates.
Marquita Bernadette Mosley.
Reed Lawrence Collins.
William James Mossett.
Matthias Andre Coulomb.
Zakia Mushumi.
Michael William Colinello.
Amy Danielle Moyer.
Andrew Stephen Colvin.
Michael Brian Mulhern.
James Gregory Cook.
Kevin Thomas Mullen. Lindsay Nicole Murphy.
Sean Patrick Cook.
Kenneth William Myers.
Lindsay Marie Coonan.
Lauren Jillian Myers.
Brandon Scott Corby.
Matthew David Myers.
Jonathan Tyler Corson.
Francesca Nicole Nanovic.
Catherine Hackett Cousineau.
Rebecca Ann Nawdasher.
James Patrick Coyne.
Sherelle Catrice Nelms.
Brian Edward Craig.
James David Nelson.
Robert Carl Cresswell Jr.
Bree Lynn Neuschwander.
Ian Jared Krotzer.
Cliff Vong Nguyen.
Matthew David Crozier.
Joseph Tone Nguyen.
Anna Marie Cunningham.
Tuan Soon Nguyen. Megan Elizabeth Nolan.
Pamela Lauren Cunningham.
Chadwick Michael Norman.
Matthew Thomas Cupid.
Anna Nowakowska.
Zachary Thomas Curry.
Catherine Scheidel Nulf.
Dawn Marie Damon.
Sarah Elsa Nungesser.
Sarah Marie Damon.
Michael Francis O'Brien.
Krista Michelle Daniels.
Sarah Abina Odoro.
Leopold Anthony Darcy.
Michael Francis Oshner. Leah Therese O'Neill.
Christina Lynn Davidson.
Eunice Osi Boachi.
David Philip Davis.
Krista Labara Oskowitz.
Rachel Ann Davis.
James Thomas Otter Jr.
Brian Randolph Deary.
Matthew James Outen.
Michael Joshua DeFinis.
Jennifer Marie Overbeck.
Rachel Leah DeFrancesco.
Stephen Michael Owad.
Lisa Elaine Diley.
Kimberly Michelle Payon.
Marjorie Lynn DeLong.
Tara Rashmikant Parek.
Catherine Celeste Delp.
G. Park.
Nina Camille Dennis.
June Ho Park.
Nicholas Andrew DePolo.
John Park.
Sarah Ann Durstein.
Arpit Y. Patel.
Shopa Densetti.
Avakash J. Patel.
Brian Allen Dickel.
Benita C. Patel.
Nathan De Donato.
Deepa Patel.
Robert Anthony De Gennaro.
Falguni Patel.
Angela Love DeLonzo.
Jaimini N. Patel.
Rebecca Marie DeLella.
Jalpa S. Patel.
Rebecca Lee Dillon.
Kajal Ashakumar Patel.
Kevin Andrew Dion.
Namisha S. Patel.
Michael George DePiro.
Nilima M. Patel.
Anita Lillian Dixit.
Rita V. Patel.
Danielle Elizabeth Doe McFadden.
Shyam G. Patel.
Joel David Douglas.
Sveta R. Patel.
Melanie Jacqueline Downey.
Trupti Patel.
Natasha Linnell Downing.
Vijay Patel.
Amy Marie Duda.
Vikas Patel.
Samrat Da Ilal Dudat.
Vikram C. Patel.
Sarah Emily Duffy.
Vrinda R. Patel.
Candice May Dunn.
Yatish H. Patel.
Jennifer Marie Dunn.
Brian Allen Patterson.
James Robert Dutter.
Eric Allen Peckrule.
David Andrew Zenzel.
Thomas Augustus Pepe III.
Kelly Ray Eisenhart.
Iron Pervin.
Robert Brian Morris Ellis.
Jennifer Lynn Petton.
Robert Brian Morris Ellis.
Edward Nam Juan Pham.
Brian Patrick Enline.
Quinn Nyuk Lam Pham.
Obina Dennis Ananya.
Cassandra Marie Pickens.
Mark David Entwistle.
Daniel Craig Pilquist.
Matthias Hans Eriksson.
Tara Leanne Plotz.
Stephanie Lynn Ernie.
Jeremy Michael Plymet.
Kirsten Ishmael Escarcha.
Danielle Monique Pollard.
Jonathan Richard Atkins.
Leilani Masi Paloi.
Rachel Elizabeth Eder.
Chelsea Elizabeth Powers.
Anne-Marie Teresa Evans.
Rochelle Lynn Price.
David Emlyn Evans.
Raymond Thomas Proderudi.
Anthony James Ewer.
Jennifer Nicole Prushnick. Jason Michael Purcell. Joseph Michael Purcell. John Nally Quinn. Bethany Marie Quinty. Lawrence Renard Ramsier. Mark Joseph Randazzo. Brandon Michael Rapine. Michelle Heather Rappaport. Rebecca Wells Razor. Christopher Raymond Rauckett. Carrie Ann Ravnikar. Michelle Nicole Register. John Mark Reikley. Sherry Elaine Rife. Jamie Lynn Regal. John Vincent Riley. Aubrey Lynn Reinmiller. Justin Robert Wrights. Danielle Marie Renier. Alicia Sue Reynolds. Heather Amy Rayum.
Jonathan Patrick Fakish.
Renee Ann Riccardi.
Anthony Vincent Fano.
Andrew James Riccardi.
Kristen Brooke Faison.
Damian Carlo Riccitelli.
Edward James Farrow.
Julianne Marie Richardson.
Mark Maxted Faulkner.
Jason Matthew Richwine.
James Philip Favada.
Jonathan Kenneth Riker.
Jessica Lynn Feisel.
Rachel Patricia Riendo.
Alan John Fenstermaker.
John David Riley.
Derek Paul Fickert.
Brian Paul Rippert.
Jeffrey William Fickert.
Wendy Lynn Rittenhouse.
Amanda Lynn Finan.
Jennifer Ann Rizzo.
Jason Brandon Fine.
Carol Beth Robbins.
Jonathan Robert Fink.
Marco Durst Rock.
Allison Elizabeth Fino.
Lindsay Deborah Rogers.
Laura Elizabeth Fisher. Thank you.
Teresa Francis Romano.
Ryan M. Fitzharris.
Paul Joseph Rossioli.
Jared Coram Flamer.
Jonathan Donald Rose.
Philip L. Fleck.
Andrew Scott Rosenthal.
Stephen Neil Fleming.
Dennis Kenneth Roth.
Alonzo Xavier Flowers.
Carrie Ann Roth.
Lauren Elizabeth Flowers.
Stephen Michael Ruth.
Christina Amia Ford.
Kevin Charles Ryan.
Anthony Francis Foresto.
Carly Jill Saiconi.
Robert Joseph Frasca.
Lisa Ann Saida.
Iman Rorik Fricker.
Laura Jillian Sampson.
Joseph L. Fritz.
Markeisha E. Sanders.
Michael Francis Fry.
Kimberly Rose Sana.
Jacqueline Patricia Fines.
Andrew Peter Santa Cruz.
Angela Elizabeth Gallagher.
Janelle Kathleen Saracini.
Robert Thomas Gannister.
Anthony Stephen Sarrow.
Christy Ann Gentile.
Matthew David Sowers.
Deborah Grace George.
Michael John Scavita.
Kenneth James Gurgis Jr.
Carly Elizabeth Shaw.
Matthew Douglas Gibson.
Ian Matthew Schur.
Mary Catherine Gill.
Nicholas William Shifkins.
Matthew Richard Gill.
Tara Jean Schilke.
William Patrick Gill.
Jonathan William Schilling.
Andrew William Gilman.
Richard Paul Schillo.
Jeffrey Marlin Ginhart.
Jennifer Marie Schmeckel.
Andrea Francis Giuliano.
Natalie Eve Schmidt.
Daniel Vincent Glancy.
Kimberly Ann Shimliski.
Brian Joseph Gock.
Megan Elizabeth Schneider.
Christy Jean Gottschall.
Sarah Lynn Schoendorfer.
Ryan Philip Godshaw.
Heather Lynn Showing.
Gwendoline Candida Getter.
Bruce Michael Shorley Jr.
Joshua William Gontram.
Kenneth Schwartz.
Julie Corinne Good.
Leanne Schwartz.
Dustin Montgomery Goodwin.
Amy Elizabeth Scott.
Robert Jonathan Gorsey.
Pankhurst Kumar Seal.
Jennifer Lynn Gorman.
Joseph William Seeker.
Scott Andrew Gorman.
Anassa R. Sealaw.
Melanie Lynn Gottlieb.
Barrett Ryan Seitz.
Stephanie Kristen Graff.
Holly Michelle Sensinger.
Justin Richard Graham.
Kreshnik Cesare.
Ronald Wayne Grams.
William Joseph Schaefer.
Vincent Paul Grande.
Shivangi Arun Shah.
Rebecca Jean Grant.
Sunil B. Shah.
Christopher Scott Grebe.
Safa Anessa Shaker.
Kristen Holly Green.
Diwan Subrina Shamim.
Eric R. Green.
Nicholas George Shannon.
Sean Richard Grimison.
Russell Stephen Shelley.
Andrew Michael Grimm.
Mary Anastasia Shervinsky.
Kiera Shea Grimm.
Robert Michael Shields.
Joseph Isaac Granenko.
Michael Larian Schiller.
Jason Thomas Grubb.
Michael James Shover.
Christina Garna.
Michael Brian Schultz.
Michael Matthew Gubitosa.
Joseph Christopher Sidman.
Nicholas James Haberly.
Joseph James Symes.
Vincent DePaul Hafner III.
Melissa Ann Simon.
Daniel Christian Hagstrom.
Lindsay Lee Simpson.
Samuel Robert Hagerty.
Stephanie Allen Simpson.
Megan Renee Hagee.
Kristen Lee Single.
James Edward Buchanan Haig.
Brian Christopher Singer.
Kirsten Lee Hayner.
Elena Ty Cisco.
Deborah Ann Haynes.
Rita Elizabeth Skalick.
Jessica Lynn Hare.
John Lawrence Slacta.
David Thomas Hare.
Jason Randolph Slemmer.
Jessica Lynn Hall.
Casey Lynn Slaughter.
Kristen Marie Hames.
Stacy Eileen Slowick.
Christopher Ryan Hamill.
Christopher Scott Smiley.
Brian Scott Hand.
Brian Stephen Smith.
Matthew David Handy.
Cerise Barbara Smith.
Edward Evan Hankin.
Cheryl Lynn Smith.
Kristen Lynn Hannings.
Laura Jane Smith.
Cynthia Grace Hanson.
Natalie Page Smith.
Keith Douglas Harper.
Tara Lynn Smith.
Elizabeth St. Clair Harrison.
Sharon Elizabeth Snell.
Andrew Gordon Hart.
Christine Renee Snyder.
Shane P. Hazelbarth.
Justine Lee Snyder.
Angel Hope Hearns.
Alicia Michelle Sobel.
Megan Michelle Heath.
Lee Scott Sabakin.
Benjamin Todd Hebner.
Ronald Edward Solomon Jr.
Sebastian Heil.
Adriana Alencar Sorrenti.
James Christopher Heimer.
Amanda Dawn Spalding.
Wesley Reed Heinel.
Sarah Hope Spielvogel.
Lauren Denise Helbling.
John Hoffman Spinella.
Vanessa Jean Helmick.
Brick Mangle Sporia.
Jonathan M. Hendershot.
Emily Marie Stackhouse.
Aubrey Robin Hendricks.
Sean Wesley Stapp.
Valerie Ann Hendricks.
Kimberly Lynn Starrett.
Paul Nathaniel James Henning.
Johnny Elizabeth Steele.
Thomas C. Henning Jr.
Michael Dominic Stefano.
Lindsay Marie Herbine.
Jacqueline Lee Stein.
Heather Francis Herman.
Jennifer Lynn Stein.
Cynthia Viola Herman.
Blair Lee Sterling.
Ian Randall Hirsch.
Kristen Elizabeth Stoll.
Antoine Marie Hill.
Megan Lynn Stolte.
Emma Grace Hill.
Matthew David Stone.
Patrick Thomas Hinman.
Rachel Ann Stout.
Erin Christine Hinkle.
Charles Frank Straw Jr.
Emily Christina Holden.
Kendra Martha Strubing.
Ryan Thomas Hollenbach.
Paul Sudol.
Andrew John Holloway.
Michelle Ann Swaim.
Mina Min Hong.
Dana Lauren Swain.
Peggy Hong.
John Michael Sweeney.
Jennifer Lynn Horn.
William Joseph Taylor.
Joseph David Horn.
Dominic Zoltar Zabo.
Deborah Evelyn Hong.
Karen Louise Zedecki.
Ryan Edwin Hoskinson.
Shalon Ta.
Tracy Lynn Hauser.
Joseph Andrew Talise.
Pamela Ann Howley.
Christine Marie Tampanella.
Brittany Janice Daleen Hoxie.
Mehul Tendell.
Christina Jean Huber.
Tanu Tank.
Anne Elizabeth Hudson.
Maze Fez Tanus.
Justin Lee Hughes.
Laura Elizabeth Tappert.
Lori B. Hulslander.
Justin Michael Tarpey.
Jonathan Daniel Hunt.
Lorraine Ann Taylor.
Timothy Scott Hutchinson.
Deborah Thacker.
June Wong.
Aaron James Thomas.
Matthew Robert Ibargwin.
Kristen Lynn Thomas.
Mihai Bogdan Ignat.
Tyree Jovan Thomas.
Radhika Inaganti.
Christine Thompson.
Michelle Lynn Ingram.
Richard Lee Toback.
Jennifer and Jane.
Wang Vo Tong.
Jessica Louise Interante.
Trang Tui Trong.
John Andrew Iris.
Jonathan Richard Toy.
Preya Ayer.
Steve James Trackham.
Sarah Elizabeth Jansen.
Jeffrey John Trahey.
Jennifer Marie Jeffries.
Mimi Hui T. Tran.
Ashley Brooke Jernigan.
Tai Vin Tran.
Ishmael Justin Jimenez III.
Megan Maria Traynor.
Bora Elizabeth Jin.
Jonathan Lee Tucker.
Alexander Clifford Johnson.
Sarah Ann Tolanowski.
Angela Marie Johnson.
Harry McClay Turner Jr.
Danielle Johnson.
Robert Crawford Tybring.
Haiki Jawad Johnson.
Wesley Scott Tyson.
James Robert Johnson III.
Seth Patrick Uffner.
Latina Lynn Johnson.
Sarah Ulmer.
Marissa Louise Johnson.
Sean Patrick Underwood.
Omar Sharif Johnson.
Vishal Vadadori.
Scott Evan Johnson.
Nicholas John Vale.
Timothy Daniel Johnson.
Zachary Corson Van Gilder.
J. Jamal Joseph.
Ansi Varagis.
Lori Robin Kagan.
Philip Bruce Vassold.
Nina Vinadrai Kalawadia.
Maria Belen Vasquez.
Sean Anthony Kaminsky.
Robert Michael Vizzacaro.
Jennifer Lynn Kamler.
Stephen Richard Volpe.
Jennifer Jean Capusta.
Stephanie Marie Voorhees.
Michael Justin Capusta.
Ramit Kumar Wadira.
Swathi Shivan Kasat.
Amy Lynn Wagner.
Michelle Allison Kauter.
Joshua Adam Wagner.
Jeffrey Noah Kime.
Daniel William Wable.
Joshua Edward Kiesling.
Claudine Valerie Wagenfield.
Angela Marie Keller.
Jean Ann Waltzberger.
Amber Christine Kelly.
Christopher Michael Walsh.
Michael James Kelly.
Jennifer Lynn Walsh.
Kelly Elizabeth Kennedy.
Amy Lynette Walton.
Kaylin Black Kerr.
Melissa Ray Wampold.
Joshua Michael Catchum.
Matthew Earl Wampole.
Kara Lynn Ketterer.
Denny Wan.
Rolly Monica Diamond Carey.
Melissa Nicole Warburton.
Colleen Aiken Kiley.
Monica Heather Ward.
Catherine Kiesel.
Stephen Anthony Washington.
David Kim.
Craig Michael Wireman.
David Juan Kim.
Laura Ann Weil.
Lindsay Kim.
Samantha Michelle White.
Mi Yeon Kim.
Kevin Alexander Wells.
Nam In Kim.
Lou Russell Worley.
Suk Young Kim.
Allison Marie White.
Sung Hoon Kim.
Shannon Beth Wiegand.
Antoinette Leslie Nicole Kimber.
Daisy Catherine Weisinger.
Alyssa Lee Kincaid.
Jason David Williams.
Richard Thomas Kincaid.
Latasha Sarita Williams.
Donald Andrew Kinsey.
Ryan Michael Williams.
Daniel Patrick Kirk.
John Daniel Williams Jr.
Eric Miles Kirkpatrick.
Andrew Ross Wimmer.
Yeah, buddy.
Scarlett D. Kirschner.
Martin Allen Whitmer.
Heather Ann Klein.
Justin Widolowski.
Kimberly Ann Klein.
Brian Kenneth Waltman.
Sean Elizabeth Klein.
Stephen James Wojcik.
Reth Marie Klott.
Michael Patrick Woodcock.
Kevin John Kluger.
Jason Scott Wright.
John David Cluxon.
Karen Wright.
Keith Charles Cabasa.
Justin Jeffrey Wyatt.
Catherine Marie Cook.
Stephen Michael Yarnell.
Chad Ryan Koffel.
Thomas Timothy Yaw.
Lauren Sarah Katowski.
Mi Young Yum.
Gina Kong.
David Hun Cho Yum.
Ju Hee Koo.
Mark Thomas Yoder.
Andrea Cindy Kornfeld.
Michael Chung Yu.
Thomas Adam Koss.
Susan J. Yu.
Daniel Martin Crossan.
Jane Grace Yun.
Kevin Christopher Cranehagen.
Brian Jeffrey Yost.
Eric Bolton Kriebel.
Christopher Richard Yost.
Jason Michael Kroner.
Katie Janelle Young.
Clayton Roth Cooklick.
Nicole Marie Young.
Heather Lee Culp.
Alicia Christine Zagoritsky.
Olivia Jean Kunkel.
Robert Thomas Zyko.
Kyron Michael Kapanevich.
Rory Michael Zappin.
Claire Francis Kuzerk.
Kevin Joseph Zavada. Kirsten Lynn Zeblum. Ryan Matthew Ziegler. Corey Ann Zemer. Kristen Marie Zazula. Janine Marie Zisk. Samantha Jean Zwilling.
And the last four names, the senior class treasurer, Christopher Gardiaz.
Senior class secretary, Clark William Deerdorf.
The senior class vice president, Frank Joseph Curcio.
And the senior class president, Sandy Suk Cho.
Class of 2000, congratulations. You have made the entire North Penn School District and community proud of you and your schools. My directions from your class president is to keep this short, and I will. Now for the business at hand. It is my responsibility to certify that you have met the necessary requirements to receive a diploma. But first, I must administer one final test. Class of 2000, are you ready to graduate? Good answer. We are now prepared to put the finishing touches on your accomplishments at North Penn. Let me proceed. By the powers vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and as superintendent of schools in North Penn, I hereby affirm that you have met all the criteria required for graduation and confer upon you a North Penn High School diploma with all the rights, privileges accorded to it. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2000, I'm so glad you did not throw your hats. Please join me by grabbing your tassel on your hat in your right hand, crossing over your heart from right to left in that fashion. By the power invested in me, I pronounce you graduated!